Hey, and welcome to the Winning Daily Show. Be in the know to get that dough. And we started off hot yesterday with our revamped show and our revamped episodes. We made you some money. We hit some really nice straight bets and hit the one really nice 7-1 parlay. Let's start on our recap in the soccer. We had Brighton, Nottingham Forest both to score. Tough game there. Nottingham Forest has just decided to sit back and see if they can stink out every game, gain enough points to keep above that relegation zone. It's working for them. That's two straight games, 0-0 tie. They've gotten points where they probably shouldn't. Brighton dominated this game, and it just comes back to the same problems that Brighton has always had, where they can create opportunities, but they can't always finish those opportunities. And Nottingham Forest took advantage of that, put a lot of people behind the ball, especially those last 20 minutes. Didn't let up the goal, 0-0 score. I thought they'd be more open. Nottingham Forest was more open earlier in the year, but you got to adjust off that. They're no longer going to be open. They're going to play tight defense and see if they can sort of steal a goal here or there and just see if they can steal some points. So just on that, Brighton's just in one of those phases where they create opportunities but don't score. So, it's really hard to read because when they start scoring and putting away some of their chances, they become a really good team and a really good play. So just have to keep playing them and hope they can start finishing those chances again and get back on the roll. Easy for Crystal Palace ended up getting the goal at plus 550, like we said. Do a little research. Eze scored a couple of games ago in these head-to-head matchups versus Wolves. He got another one this week, so that was a really nice winner at plus 550, 37.50 on that, so a nice 206.25 win on there. Then Swansea City to win, both to score. Swansea City got down 0-2, but in these championship games, you never give up hope. Scoring's fast and quick, and momentum can change so quickly. So once Swansea started to get rolling there at home, Reading had nothing that could really hold them back. Swansea took control, won this game outright 3-2. So we hit a plus 333 winner at 62.50 risk on that. So 208 on the win on that one. Celtics Sixers did not go the way we thought it would. Just tough game. And, I went in with big high hopes, and you don't want to sort of get off those about the Sixers. But one, their depth is really bad. I thought it would be better. I think it looks better on paper than when you actually see it, sort of play out in the game, and they just don't have the depth. They have 5 really good players, but they play slow. They play an individual style, and Boston just carved them up. Not really a good bet there, but nonetheless, we'll see if Philly can find a little bit of form, but I'm just worried it's going to be hot and cold all season long. They're going to be so dependent on that starting 5 to really win them games. Their defense was poor, but Austin really looked good in this game. They have more depth than the 76ers for sure. So Sixers plus 3 was a loser for 250. James Harden came out the gate like I thought and put on a show. But in true James Harden fashion, put on a show, and they were never really in the game. So James Harden over 2.5 threes, plus 150 was a winner. James Harden points, rebounds, and assists over 33.5, minus 115 for 62.50 was a winner. James Harden first basket was a loser. Joel Embiid over 2.5 blocks and steals. He got 1 block early and really just didn't do anything else that whole game. Celtics were shooting the 3 well, so they didn't really attack the basket as much as you'd think. They didn't turn the ball over as much as I wanted to either, so a loser there on the 62.50. And then lastly, first quarter under, Lakers Warriors 54.5 at plus 105. That was just like stealing money. Both teams came out the gates pretty slow. Warriors started to find their form a little late in that first quarter, and then more on through the second half. But nonetheless, really exactly what I thought would happen in this first quarter. So easy money at the plus 105. And really, I would just ride Lakers unders. They have 3 players who are all out there just trying to stat pad. Everybody else just really, really bad players. So look at those Lakers unders, ride them out, because they don't have a lot of scoring outside the 3 guys, and the 3 guys look to get their numbers and then go home. In the parlay round, same game parlay plus 600, Sixers minus 3.5, Maxey 20 plus points, Harden over 7.5 assists, missed that one pretty easily. Harden didn't get the assist numbers. Sixers didn't come close to cover. Maxey did get his 20-plus points. 2-leg parlay, double-double, Harden and Davis. Davis got his. Harden didn't get his. But the one winner we got, James, over 7.5 assists. James, over 6 rebounds. Davis, a steal, and Davis, 2-plus blocks. $25 on that one at plus 775. So overall, $915.61 in wins, $537.50 in losses, to a net total of $378.11. So we start off the year hot and in the plus territory. It's always good to get off to a hot start. Let's see if we can continue that today. Full slate of NBA games, a little soccer we're going to dive into here. Full slate of Premier League games, but I don't have a ton on the Premier League. Got a couple in La Liga. A lot of NBA stuff I like, and we're going to hit that Houston-New York Yankees game as well. So let's start out in La Liga. Elche versus Real Madrid. We got 2 plays on this game. I just look for a light Real Madrid performance. If you really watch how Real Madrid plays, they play really highly efficiently, certainly versus these sort of lower tier teams that don't belong really on the same field with them. I think Real Madrid come out flat, do what they do, just sort of dominate without dominating the game, look poor, and then probably get a winner late in that second half. I don't even know if they'll play all their big guns in Benzema and Modric and Cruz, and I just look for a lazy game, especially after that big win Sunday versus Barcelona. Champions League next week, another game on this weekend. So a lot going on. This is one of those where they could sort of half take off. I look at them really as sort of like an old school, in his prime, Roy Jones Jr. type soccer team here. They might throw 15 punches per round, but they land 10 of them, and highly efficient. So with that, I really like Elche, plus the half goal, plus 250 here. I think this could be a tie. I just don't think they have enough. But the one I really like, 62.50 on the Elche, plus the half goal, plus 250. I think we'll get a flat performance. So ride that flat performance. Maybe you want to ride Elche more in the first half than the second half. But I just think Elche hangs with them for a bit, and probably Real gets their goal late, or just never gets their goal at all, or gives up a cheap one to Elche, then gets the tying goal there. I just think Elche will hang with them here, because I think we're going to get that flat Real Madrid performance. First half under a half goal here, plus 260. Like I said, I think this will come out a flat game. I think Elche won't come out aggressive, like most teams don't come out aggressive. And then once they figure out that Real's not really pushing them, then in the second half, we get a little bit more open. Elche, that might be when they give up the goal. That might be when they get the goal. So we'll see. But we're going for first half, under half goal, plus 260 on that one, 62.50 on that one. And then in the Basque Country, Real Sociedad, who's been on what a run they've been on, can really sort of start to push up the table here with Barcelona's flat four. Mallorca goes there. Mallorca's had a tough couple games here. I think they'll struggle going from road home to road again, all the way up into northern Spain and in that Basque Country. They've really struggled versus Real Sociedad. Had a couple 0-3 losses, an 0-2 loss in there, an 0-1 loss in there. So Of the last 5 times they've met, the -1.5 has been covered 4 of those 5 times by Real Sociedad. I look for that to continue. You're getting a pretty good price here on the 1.5. So Real Sociedad plus 165, minus the 1.5. We got 125 on that one. All right, the Premier League. Only one straight bet. We got a couple parlays in the Premier League that we're going to do, but one straight bet. Tottenham versus Manchester United. We're going to go Tottenham minus the 1.5 plus 500 versus Manchester United. If you look at this matchup, it's basically been a matchup of sort of blowouts. One side or the other. One side takes control. Whoever gets up sort of controls this game and then puts on a handful of more goals. So if one of these teams can get an early goal, I look for them to carry on and sort of easily cover that 1.5 point spread. If you look at how these matchups have gone the last couple times. Now, the trick you could do here, I didn't do it because I'm just going to ride Tottenham. You know, I liked their form of the week. I liked their form in the Champions League. Maybe they're putting a little something together. But what you could do here is take Tottenham minus 1.5 at plus 500. Manchester United minus 1.5 at, I believe it was about 350 when I looked. So you got 350, you got plus 500. If this game holds true to what it's sort of been the last couple years, you're probably going to cover that 1.5, and you get money on either side if one of those 1.5s covers. So maybe that's what you want to do to protect yourself. See if you can get this game into a blowout territory. So maybe you go Tottenham minus 1.5 plus 500, Manchester United minus 1.5 plus 350. I'm just going to ride the Tottenham here, see if I can get that big plus 500 fee. So Tottenham minus 1.5 plus 500, 62.50 on that one. We'll see if Tottenham forms can hold. I didn't like the way Manchester United looked over the weekend in Newcastle. They just sort of played a slow, methodical game versus Newcastle. Didn't want to open up. I think if they do that same thing to Tottenham hits them a couple times on the break. And like I said, if Tottenham can get up, then they can start pouring on the goals, because then they can do what they want to do, which is just sit back and hit on the break. Now, like I said, other way around, maybe Manchester United sneaks one early. Tottenham is not opposed to giving up chances here. And then Manchester United can really do what they're best at right now. They haven't fully sort of gotten into that pressing system of Ten Hag. They're still much better on the counterattack. So if Manchester United gets on that goal early, they get to sit back as Tottenham comes to them, and then they can hit on the counter. So that would be sort of a reason why you'd want to do both those 1.5s, but we're just going to go with Tottenham right now, minus the 1.5 plus 500 in this one. All right, let's get into a couple same game parlays for the Premier League here. We're going Brentford Chelsea over 1.5 goals, Brentford plus the half goal. Chelsea's been on a really good run here, 4 wins in a row since Graham Potter has taken over. I think they'll struggle here going into Brentford. Brentford coming off a nice home win versus Brighton, 2-0 at home. Brentford's always a tough place to go at night. I think this might be a play where Brentford could get the tie here. I really wanted to take them to win, but I didn't think that value was quite there. So this way you get a little bit of that value at plus 170. You know the goals will go over, and if you get the tie, you get the win there. So Brentford, Chelsea over 1.5 goals. Brentford half goal here, plus 170 on that same game parlay, 62.50 on that one. And then Liverpool versus West Ham. You know, Liverpool finally looked like they were playing a little bit of defense over the week versus Manchester City. Does that carry over? Do they play the same type system that they played, where they put, Fabinho back in there? They dropped their line. They weren't playing such a high line, or they were playing a high line, but then when ball got into midfield, they tended to drop back a little bit more than they usually do. Do they continue that, or was that just a Man City thing? If it's not just a Man City thing, I think West Ham can score on them. Do I think they could go in there and win? I don't know. So we got Samaka anytime goal scorer for West Ham. He's been on quite a roll for West Ham. Look for him to continue that if Liverpool continues to play that high line. I'm not sold quite yet that Liverpool's defense has sort of made their adjustments. So, Samaka to score, Liverpool to win. Get a really nice price on that one, plus 600 for a two-team parlay. So if we could sneak that Samaka goal and Liverpool gets the win at home over West Ham, plus 600, $35 on that one. So those are our two same-game parlays in the Premier League. All right, let's go to the NBA. We're going to go through a handful of games. We're just going to bet straight up here. The Indiana Pacers +1 versus the Washington Wizards. I know everybody thinks Indiana's really going to tank, but right now their team isn't built to tank. They got a pretty good roster until they can start to unload a lot of that veteran talent with Rick Carlisle. I think they'll be able to hang with teams like the Wizards, and they might get off to a little bit better start than you think. Now, by the second half of the season, if they unload all those guys, then I look for the Pacers to really sort to tank and start to lose games a lot. But I think early you're going to get value here in the Pacers because everybody thinks they're going to be crappy, but they still got a lot of very solid veterans, just as many solid veterans as the Washington Wizards have at home, Wizards on the road, like the Indiana Pacers here. Knicks at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies -4. This is easy. Knicks going into the grindhouse. Opening night in Memphis. I look for Memphis to really put it on them. I don't know if Memphis will have as good a year as they did last year, but I think games like this is where you grab Memphis because I think Memphis will put them on them. I think that 4 is a gift right now. So Knicks, Grizzlies -4, 125 on that one as well as on the Pacers. Houston Rockets +9.5 I think is just sort of too much for this Hawks team to cover right now. So I'm going to take the Rockets +8, sort of the over-under on the Rockets Hawks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and sort of see what this second half brings here. I think this is more likely to hit the over in the second half. So on a live line, let's watch. Let's see what the first half does. Let's see what that number, which was 234 for the game, let's see what it is at halftime. Let's just see what the second half is at halftime. I'll tweet that out if I really, really want to be aggressive and go after the over in this game if it's a little lower off the 234 in the second half or just the second half overall total. But the one thing I am going to do, Houston Rockets first half +240. I mentioned I think this Rockets team will catch some teams off guard. Certainly the Hawks team, I think they could catch them off guard. A lot of athleticism, a lot of scoring, much like the Hawks. I think they match up pretty well. So you're getting +240 Houston Rockets first half to win here. So we're going to put 62.50 on that. Houston Rockets first half +240. Let's move to the Spurs and the Hornets. I think this is a mismatch. Honestly, I wanted to put a little bit more on it, but I guess I just wasn't quite ready to go grab the Spurs. I know the Spurs are going to be in tank mode, but the Hornets are going to be in tank mode too. Another bad situation with Book Night. This Hornets team, I think, probably is going to be worse than the Spurs. Spurs still have a lot of nice pieces on it. Hornets have one piece and, Gordon Hayward, who knows if he's even going to play in the game. He's already banged up. So I think I'm riding the Spurs opening night. Is San Antonio -1, 125 on that one. We're going to take 2 over here. Wizards Pacers at 226. We're going to take the over in that one at 62.50. Blazers Kings over 228.5. That should be an entertaining game. Definitely tune in for that if you can on the League Pass tonight. Blazers Kings. Let's see how these Kings get out the gate. All right, couple player props to hit up here. We're going Karl Anthony Towns under 9.5 rebounds -115. 62.50 on that. Definitely with the emergence of Rudy Gobert, he's going to chew up a lot of rebounds. I look for Edwards to hit up some rebounds. You got a couple other really aggressive centers in like Nas Reed for the Timberwolves who are going to get minutes and chew up rebounds. And if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't have to rebound, he doesn't strike me as someone who's going to really want to rebound. So I think that 9.5 number, pretty solid to go under tonight. 9.5 rebounds under for Towns, but I'm going over 2.5 threes. He's going to pull away from the basket, and if you give him sort of the green light to shoot as many threes as he wants, he's going to take it. You're getting pretty good value there. Karl Anthony Towns over 2.5 threes plus 118. Really, really good value there. 62.50 on that one. Dame's return tonight. First the Kings. I look for him to put on a show. You're getting really, really good value here. Damian Lillard, 30-plus points, plus 235. I look for him to get out the gates versus a very, soft defensively opponent in the Sacramento Kings. I think it'll be a score fest. I think Damian will look to put on a show to show he's back. So Damian Lillard, 30-plus points, 235. And Damian Lillard, 2.5 three-pointers made at minus 150, 62.50 on both those. Going back to the Spurs game, Trey Jones, 0.5 three-pointers made. I think Trey Jones can hit one. Look at his numbers. He usually hits at least one a game. When he gets, 20-plus minutes, he should get, that for sure, being as they've sort of given him the point guard duties. So I look for Trey to hit at least 1 3 tonight, minus 130, so you aren't getting juiced all that much. So half a three-pointer made for Trey Jones. Let's go over on that one, 62.50. And lastly, Pistons Magic really should be a fun League Pass game. Be sure to tune in there. A lot of young talent. And we're going to go Jaden Ivey over 11.5 points, minus 102. Matchup versus Paolo Banchero, the Rookie of the Year favorite. I really like Jaden Ivey to maybe sneak into that Rookie of the Year conversation. So Jaden Ivey over 11.5 points, minus 102 tonight, 62.50. Just one parlay for the NBA tonight. We're going 20-plus points for Vucevic and Spencer Dinwiddie. That plays 797. We got 37.50 on that one. So two-leg parlay, only one tonight. Vooch, Dinwiddie, 20-plus points, 797 for that. And lastly, before we get out of here, let's hit up a little baseball. New York Yankees won the game last night, and their reward: travel overnight to Houston, face Justin Verlander, James Ontalion on the hill for the Yankees. I think the Yankees get lit up tonight. So we're going to go 3 different bets for the Houston Astros. We're going to take the initial run line, Houston Astros, minus 1.5, plus 114 for 250. And then we're going to take run lines on the Astros, minus 3.5 for 125 apiece. Those are plus 182 and plus 280. I will just look for a blowout tonight. So I'd grab easily the 2.5 and the 3.5. I think the Yankees come back to fight another day once their pitching sort of resets. They start out with Cole in the next game. So grab the Astros here. Why the value is there. 1.5 plus 114, and then sort of cover. I think they win that one easy, and then you could get bonus value, 2.5, 3.5, 182, 280, 125 on those two. So that's our best bets of the day. Be sure to like and subscribe. All our shows coming out, the NBA preview, our college football picks and preview show, and our NFL preview show for the weekend. You don't want to miss any of the action. So be sure to like, subscribe, and watch all the content Greenlight Network has to offer. Be in the know to win that dough. That's our show, and we're out.